Okay, I just got my flu shot, so if I start looking at you weird, yeah.
In the hallway.
Well, they were just giving them out. I want to, so I want to make sure.
What was the
Doctor-
flu shot?
What would have happened if you lost?
Well, we got my flu shot.
You're gonna hollow it.
So,
Hey, Sean, can you pull the mic a little closer? It's a little hollow. Thank you.
yeah. I just got my flu shot. Is that better? Did you not pick that up the first time? No, hey, great win. Again, a great environment. Crowd was just awesome. That's a long game right there, and back and forth. Some really high highs and some things we want back. So we can learn from those, but they stayed right in there with us. Great team win. A lot of guys stepped up, maybe that haven't been playing as much due to the injuries, and they did a great job. Just the back and forth, the journey of a game, kind of like the journey of a season. And I think we learned a little bit about ourselves today. We're not where we need to be, but I saw the team come together when it got tough. I mean, the momentum changed a couple different parts of the game, which is going to happen, and they stood right, they stood tall. So staff, great job by them, both offense, defense, and special teams, putting together a good plan. Josh Allen was phenomenal. That doesn't happen alone. The O-line, receivers, they all did a great job. The blocking in the run game and what James Cook was able to do, that line of scrimmage, as we talked before, was huge. On the other side of the ball, defensively, the D-line led us right there, and then we were able to do some things with our rushing coverage working together, which was good to see, and affect the quarterback a little bit there. Good to see Max get the interception. You got to think about it's only his second game in the NFL, and this is a pretty big introduction to the NFL here, this type of game. So really proud of him, and just overall a good win for us. Michael Hoyt, I know he got injured, but he brought some things to our team, and it was good to have him out there. So I don't know, maybe I left somebody out here, but overall good win.
When it comes to Josh and everything that he's done, sometimes the stats get a little overwhelming because he's got so many big ones, but at least for me, sometimes there's a name that pops up and it makes you think. He passed Earl Campbell today for career rushing touchdown.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it?
What, from a historical standpoint, all right, just can you've been asked about him so many times, is there anything that changes in terms of the superlatives you could talk about this guy?
I mean, he's an incredible player, incredible human being, and to be able to, someone was asking me the other day about his impact on our community. Everybody sees the talent. Everybody sees, hurdling defenders, scrambling around, making great throws, and I think that is awesome. What's just as important, if not more important to a community, in my estimation, is who he is as a person and the impact he's made on this community. And you don't find that everywhere, right? He's a phenomenal player, and he's got high character, and that comes from his family, of course, and God. So just it's a real, to me, moment in Buffalo to watch him, and for the kids, the young people in this community, to watch him, how he handles himself, certainly how he plays, and you see these kids with his jersey on, and rightfully so. And I stand by him because he's that person, right? He's certainly a great player. Easy to stand by a great player, but you stand by a person who is both, and he deserves all the accolades that he gets.
Sean, do you have any clarification on Michael Hoyt's prognosis, and just assuming he's not going to be playing in the short term?
Yeah, so he
Given
tore his
what-
Achilles.
Sorry,
He'll be out. He tore his Achilles.
Tore his
Yeah,
Achilles.
so he'll be out, unfortunately.
And given what he gave you in Carolina and what he gave you through 3 quarters tonight,
Yeah.
how big a loss is that?
It's a big loss. I thought he gave us a certain level of toughness, smarts, knowing how to play the game, and we got to find somebody else that's going to step up, and we've been kind of one of those years we've been tasked with doing that, and tonight you saw it again. So you can never replace one player. That said, it's about the team, and so we got to continue to figure out how we can manufacture wins at this point, and just who's next up, and that's why we continue to tell the guys who may not be playing yet, make sure you're ready, because the team moves through the year, right? With games being played, and these players that aren't playing have to keep up, and so they're ready to go. So we'll see where that leads us this week.
Sean, you talk a lot about the standard for your defense. The first half in Atlanta wasn't up to what you normally do. What's changed since then?
Just the attitude, I believe. Attitude. That's a key step in everything, right? Is attitude and understanding how we want things done, and that takes time.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Sean, attitude on the field or attitude in, it sounded like you're saying in preparation, or what do you mean?
I think attitude on the field. Attitude on the field. Not that it was bad. It's just that it's at another level right now. And you got to be nasty if you want to play good defense. If you're not tough as a defense, what do you got, right? If you want to play finesse defense, that doesn't work. So I'm really proud of the staff defensively, led by Bobby, and then the way that the guys have embraced that attitude and that nastiness.
Are you playing a larger role, Coach?
We
More active?
about the same. Yeah, about the same.
Sean, where have you seen growth from Cole Bishop? You finished tonight
Yeah.
with, I think, 4 passes defended, 7 total tackles.
Yeah,
So
you saw it tonight. I felt Cole out there. I mean, you could making big plays. You could sense his speed, and then he was popping some people out there, and that's again a journey of a young player who is taking steps in the right direction. So, and it's because of his preparation more than anything. And I think when you get more and more experience, like anything in life, you start to a little bit more understand what it's going to take, what the job description is, and so he's going to continue to grow for us here.
Sean, Josh said early on that there are certain games where he knows he's feeling it. Dawson Knox said, "Oh, I can tell." Is there something that you sense from Josh early in the game when you know that you're going to be able to ride that?
Yeah. I mean, part of my job is to read our offense, and as it relates to going for it or 4th down or not, and right away you could tell. Again, talk about attitude and mindset. You know, the way we were running the football in that first series, James Cook, the O-line, you could just see our pads were in this direction. You know, it was a forward lean on our offensive line and a forward lean on our offense, Josh included. And when he's rolling like that, I know he's vibing, and we go. It gives gives us more of a chance to be aggressive on 4th downs. So he's an elite competitor.
Hey,
Talk
Sean,
so
for
often about-
as much as you played Mahomes and as great of a player as he is, was there anything different in your approach this week in facing him, or what was the key objective to get the result that you had today?
Yeah. Well, if I knew, I would have done it X amount of games ago, honestly. No, we're just, I mean, Andy, Matt Nagy, their coaching staff, Spags, Dave Tobe on the special teams end. It's a great team, and they're very well coached. It's not happened by accident that they've been to where they've been to and won the games that they've won. So, all you try and do is put a lot of time into it, and the results sometimes are variable. So, I thought overall, on the whole, we played a good, solid football game tonight, and I think that's the most. Wins are great. But our level of play tonight was at a level that I was happy with.
Sean, you mentioned Harrison at the start. He's out there running stride for stride with Worthy, and then he was smiling pretty wide when he was in here talking about his first career interceptions off Mahomes. I mean, what a moment for him. If you had a chance to talk with him,
I just passed him actually on the way in here.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was on his way out, smiling ear to ear. He's got a bright smile, right? He brings a lot of energy, and if you just go back to his journey when he was hurt, a couple down days maybe, rightfully so, but his character also shone through in terms of getting himself mentally where he needed to be, doing what he could, even though he couldn't do a lot, and then just staying positive. Positive energy goes a long way, and I thought the training staff did a great job of bringing him along the right way and getting him back, and then his work with behind the scenes with our DB coaches and some of the veteran players as well that have helped him. Well, that's huge.
I know the Chiefs didn't have much time after that field goal hit the upright, but what did you see from your defense down to finish off that game?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew where the situation would bring us if we ran the ball and tried to kick the field goal there. So they were talking about it, on the headset the whole time. I was really on with the offense. So, you know, they were preparing the whole time, and then it paid off. You know, situationally it paid off. We have certain calls for certain situations, and I thought, you know, the call at the end there, and the way that they were able to pull Patrick up there was, you know, affected the ability to throw it deeper. So.
Sean, understanding this was only Cole's 12th NFL start, now there's been some criticism about the slow development, if you will, at time. Have you seen what we saw tonight from him in practice, maybe even leading up to this performance?
Yeah, there's flashes. You know, when you, again, for most young players, you know, games are one thing, but practices are another. It's so valuable for them to practice because that's where they get their reps. That's where they make their mistakes. You know, even it's awesome. You know, a couple of, you know, Max. I'll single out Max. We ran a play the other day at practice a couple times because he hadn't seen it yet in terms of the defense we were in, and so it was just, hey, we got to see it again. He needs to see it again, and then we teach, we slow it down, and no different for Cole. It's and you name the name, young player. That's what you got to do. And again, that's where the veterans come in, and then these guys having the right mindset to learn and to grow.
You often preach about affecting the quarterback. How did you see that play out?
Awesome.
tonight?
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it. I mean, you know, Patrick is again a once in a lifetime player, and so difficult to beat. And when he stands back there and he's not affected, it's for that type of quarterback. It's almost like 7-on-7. So the Russian coverage did a really good job tonight, and it started by winning early down, so we could get him in some of those third and longs.
I think in that the 4th and 17 conversion, they had a certain protection where they pulled the guard that circled back as Mahomes was like in and out of the pocket. Have you ever seen a team do something like that where they pull a guard back out of the formation?
Yeah, sometimes, you know, you see some of that. It's, you know, it was a huge play, you know, right there. So give them credit. They executed, and we got to find a better answer there. But that was a huge momentum change in the game, I felt like. But I applaud our team, stood tall again, and that's what you got to do. You got to have that type of mentality, that type of attitude.
Sure, I'm not sure if Patrick had any rushing yards. He seemed like you guys did a good job of kind of knowing where he was at all times and keeping him contained. How important was that in your defensive game plan?
Yeah, huge. He does a really good job of. It seems like this year, coming into the game, at least he was running more than ever, or maybe like the playoffs, you know, in the playoff runs they've been on. So, you know, we were aware of it and try to do our best to manage it. I don't think you're ever going to stop it, but, excuse me, I thought we were in some situations where we could do our best to manage it, and the guys executed. So that's some of where the Russian covers were working together.
Sean, was Terrence Johnson injury long-term, day-to-day? Do you have a chance to play in this game?
No chance to play in the game. I'm not really sure on the length of the injury at this point. So I know we're just taking it 1 week at a time right now.
John, was there any consideration of punting there at the end, or was it always field goal just based on where you were?
Field goal, or I was going to go for it. We were going to go for it. So, I mean, you get it against a team like this, you got to find a way to try and put them away. You know, they're so good. They can score so fast. We saw the drive before half. And then 4th and 17. I mean, that's you know, I think I was with Andy years ago. We had like 4th and 20-something, 28, what was it? 26 in a playoff game against Green Bay, right? Freddie Mitchell.
Speaking of right before the half, after they make that big completion, you call a timeout. Was that pretty automatic at that point, or did it have something to do with personnel and just how you manage the possibility of what happened? You kept them out of the end zone.
Yeah, that was a huge series, if you will, or sequence down there tight. I mean, I think it was 3 plays down there, and that first play, the run defense stood up because I think that made them burn the timeout. And then we went two pass plays in a row consecutively there, and we kind of had a feel, you know, with the situation not having timeouts, I got to go to the end zone twice there. So we stood up. Those guys did a great job, executed. Defensive staff had a great plan there.
Every year
Just clarify on Michael Hoyt,
Yeah.
when the card came out and then left for him, was that his choice to call
Yes,
off and
how
save
about
the
that,
team?
right? He wanted to see the game. You know, that's just awesome. I feel terrible for him.
Sean, the last few years, you've seen the Chiefs again. What do you do? Do you just put this aside now is what you got to do, but in your mind, you know this could be the first of 2 again with them?
We got to move forward. I understand what you're saying, but we got to move forward. It's time to turn the page after tonight, wake up tomorrow morning, turn the page, and get on to the Dolphins here.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.